A lot of Texans are worried about their property taxes going up. KXAN'S Tom Miller asked Alana Rocha of the Texas Tribune earlier today about whether that concern may be warranted.
City of Austin leaders tell us they're considering raising the property tax cap from 3.5% to 8%. What are other cities considering, and where do things stand with Governor Abbott?
Yeah, well, several cities and taxing entities have asked the governor to freeze property values and use last year's appraisals, but the governor is not obliging. Instead, the local governments are looking at a caveat in the new tax law that was passed to rein in property tax increases that says, yes, normally if a taxing entity wants to raise property tax revenue by more than 3.5%, they have to ask voters for approval. Well, the caveat there is that if there's a disaster, that level raises to 8%. Local governments are arguing that the pandemic qualifies as a disaster in state law, and so there's a bit of contention there because local governments, while they're hurting, don't want to have to ask voters for approval who are also hurting financially and might not be that willing to vote for an increase.
Right, and 3.5% is a lot as it is. The state Supreme Court dealt a blow to supporters of mail-in ballots yesterday. It says a lack of immunity to coronavirus doesn't alone constitute a disability, but it wasn't quite that clear cut, was it?
No, they also in that same ruling deferred to voters, that it's up to voters to assess their own health as to whether or not it rises to the level of a disability, which in state law says a sickness or illness that prevents you from getting to the polls that wouldn't injure your health. And so, it also dealt a further blow because the Attorney General was asking the Supreme Court to prevent local governments to approve or be sending mail-in ballots to people who properly fill out the form, cite a disability, which they don't have to specify what the disability is, and send them a mail-in ballot. The court also said, no, we're not going to prevent that. I mean, if the form is filled out correctly, then they need to send a mail-in ballot. So while there was one win for the state, there were kind of two different caveats that still would allow people to apply for mail-in ballots ahead of the July runoff and November election.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.